Welcome to a session on Schrödinger time-independent wave equation, significance of wave function, and Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. First, discuss the Schrödinger's time-independent wave equation. According to de Broglie theory, a particle of mass m is always associated with a wave whose wavelength is given by lambda is equal to h by mv. If the particle has wave properties, it is expected that there should be some sort of wave equation which describes the behavior of the particle, which means that if a particle acting like a wave, then there should be a wave equation. Consider a system of stationary waves associated with a particle. Let x, y, z be the coordinates of the particle and psi the wave displacement for the de Broglie wave at any time t. Here psi is called as wave function. The classical differential equation of a wave motion is given by dou square psi by dou t square is equals to v square into dou square psi by dou x square plus dou square psi by dou y square plus dou square psi by dou z square. Here we can write dou square psi by dou t square is equals to v square del square psi, where del square is dou square by dou x square plus dou square by dou y square plus dou square by dou z square. Simply, dou square psi by dou t square as it is, v square as it is, psi taken as common, and this dou square by dou x square plus dou square by dou y square plus dou square by dou z square is assumed as del square. This is a second order differential equation. Dou square psi by dou t square is equal to v square del square psi. This is second order differential equation. And the solution is assumed as psi is equal to psi naught sine omega t. Here omega is represented as 2 pi nu. So we can write omega as 2 pi nu. So this equation becomes psi is equal to psi naught into sine 2 pi nu into t. 2 pi nu into t. Here psi naught is amplitude and nu is the frequency. Differentiating the equation one for one time, what we would get is dou psi by dou t is equal to dou by dou t of psi naught sine 2 pi nu t. So here we are differentiating this equation 1 with respect to time. So dou by dou t of psi naught is a constant, so keep outside of the differentiation. So sin theta derivation is cos theta into d theta. So sin theta cos 2 pi nu t, and the differentiation of 2 pi nu t is 2 pi nu. Again, differentiating above equation with respect to time we have. So differentiate it for one more time. So dou by dou t of dou psi by dou t is equal to sin naught of dou by dou t into 2 pi nu cos 2 pi nu t. Here 2 pi nu is constant, so it is kept outside of differentiation. Similarly, sin naught is a constant. So dou by dou t of dou psi by dou t is dou square psi by dou t square is equals to sin naught, it's a constant term, 2 pi nu, it's also constant. The differentiation of cos 2 pi nu t is minus sin 2 pi nu t into differentiation of 2 pi nu t is 2 pi nu. So the above equation becomes dou square psi by dou t square is equals to sin naught 2 pi nu into 2 pi nu 4 pi square nu square into minus sin naught into sin 2 pi nu t. So using equation 1, here this is the equation 1, we can write sin naught sin 2 pi nu t. In this equation, sin naught sin 2 pi nu t can be written as psi from equation 1. You can see sin naught sin 2 pi nu t can be written as what? Psi. So by replacing sin naught sin 2 pi nu t as psi, the above equation will be converted as dou square psi by dou t square is equals to minus 4 pi square v square, and this is sin naught sin 2 pi nu t can be written as psi. Since the general wave equation is dou square psi by dou t square is equal to del square v square psi, where we got at very first you see. So this is the general wave equation for any stationary wave. Dou square psi by dou t square is equal to v square del square psi. So this is dou square psi by dou t square value, and this is also dou square psi by dou t square value. So we can compare both the equations. So by comparing both the equations, we will get a del square v square psi is equals to minus 4 phi square nu square psi. Minus 4 phi square nu square psi. But we know v is equal to nu lambda. Velocity is equals to frequency into wavelength. From this, we can write nu is equal to v by lambda. From this, if you square this equation, what we would get is nu square is equal to v square by lambda square. Just substitute this nu square value in this equation. So del square v square psi is equals minus 4 phi square into nu square. Nu square you can replace with it v square by lambda square. So here I replace nu square with v square by lambda square into psi. That is equals to, here v square cancels out. So the leftover equation is del square psi is equals to minus 4 phi square by lambda square into psi. According to de Broglie's hypothesis, we know lambda is equal to h by mv. If a material particle acting as a wave, then its wavelength is lambda is equal to h by mv. So if you square this equation, we would get lambda square is equal to h square by m square v square. Now equation 5 will become, what is equation 5? Here it is. Del square psi is equal to minus 4 phi square by lambda square into psi. Just substitute this lambda square value in this equation 5. Minus 4 phi square divided by lambda square. In place of lambda square, substitute h square by m square v square. So del square psi is equal to minus 4 phi square by lambda square. In place of lambda square, we substitute h square by m square v square psi. So del square psi is equal to minus 4 phi square m square v square comes to numerator into psi divided by h square. We know that total energy of the particle in space is the sum of the kinetic energy and potential energy. So total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. E is equals to, here E is total energy, is equals to kinetic energy half mv square plus potential energy of the particle is assumed as capital V. From this, we can write half mv square is equal to E minus V. From this, if you multiply m on both sides, what we will get is half m square v square is equal to m into E minus V. And if you brought this 2 to the opposite side, we would get m square v square is equal to 2m into E minus E. So what is the use of this m square v square? We structured here, so we don't know the value of m square v square. Just substitute this m square v square in this equation. So del square psi is equals to minus 4 phi square by h square into 2m into E minus V into psi. So del square psi is equal to 4 2s are 8 phi square m into E minus V by h square into psi. So if you brought this equation opposite of equals, then we will get del square psi plus 8 phi square m into E minus V by h square into psi is equals to 0. This is called as Schrodinger's time independent wave equation. Now let us discuss the significance of wave function. First of all, psi is called as wave function. The first significance is the wave functions psi n and the corresponding energies En, which are often called as eigenfunctions and eigenvalues. Generally, psi n is called as eigenfunction and En is called as eigenvalues. Describe the quantum state of the particle. This is the first significance. Of course, we will see what is psi n use and what is En use in the later section, which is called as particle in one-dimensional box. Next. The second significance is the wave function psi has no direct physical meaning. It's a complex quantity representing variation of matter wave. It connects the particle nature and its associated wave nature. Simply, psi don't have direct meaning, but it's a complex quantity which represents the variation of matter wave. It connects the particle nature and wave nature mathematically. The third significance is psi. When psi is multiplied with its complex conjugate psi star, we will get mod psi square. So psi star is equals to mod psi square is the probability density, which is called as probability density function. So psi star dx dy dz gives the probability of finding the electron in the region of space between x and x plus dx, y and y plus dy, and z and z plus dz. If the particle is present, then we can write like this: integral of psi star dx dy dz equals to 1. The fourth significance is it can be considered as probability amplitude since it is used to find the location of the particle. So these are the significances of wave function. Now let us discuss the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. It is a quite interesting principle based on the dual nature of matter. The general statement of the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is it is impossible to specify precisely and simultaneously the values of both members of particular pair of physical variables that describes the behavior of an atomic system. Let us discuss it very clearly by choosing the physical variables as position and momentum. If delta x and delta p are the uncertainties in the measurement of position and momentum of a system, according to uncertainty principle, we can write delta x dot delta p greater than or equal to h by 4 phi. What it says that if you accurately figure out the position, then there is uncertainty in momentum. If you are able to accurately figure out the momentum, then there is uncertainty in the position. At the same time, simultaneously, you cannot accurately determine either position or momentum. If you accurately determine the position, there is uncertainty in momentum. If you accurately determine the momentum, there is some uncertainty in position. If uncertainty in position is delta x, if uncertainty in momentum is delta p, then the product of these two is greater than or equal to h by 4 phi. This is called as a position momentum uncertainty principle. Now let us see time energy uncertainty principle. If delta E and delta T are the uncertainties in the measurements of energy and time of a system, according to uncertainty principle, then there is representation as delta E dat delta T greater than or equal to h by 4 phi. This is called as a time energy uncertainty principle, which this also states that you cannot accurately determine either time or energy at the same time. If you are able to calculate time exactly, then there is uncertainty in energy. If you are able to calculate accurate energy of the atomic system, then there is uncertainty in time. So this is called as time energy uncertainty principle.